do have got Nolan as well as the Suyo that will be starting from the same point and ending together by the EXP lane.
And not only that, right? We're looking at two potential power picks here coming in from Cambodia just because they picked up the Gatot Kacha and the Tigreal on their side. And no purifies except for Sicilian is happening for Saudi Arabia, which led to a flicker in the coming here from Pink that would not be available in that first turtle fight. So they're quite tad here in terms of like the battle spells, but as long as a lot of them are going to be staying alive, they have a chance to make it into the level 4 and hopefully deal some damage early on.
One thing that I'm a little bit worried about Cambodia's lineup is the fact that they picked up the Zask into the Hylos. And the thing about that is that Hylos cannot go down to the Dominator's descent. And that is definitely the most important thing. In fact, we'll hold on a second as down the bottom lane, Moshi pops off with a Revitalize in hopes that he will be able to stay alive from Lyrics. And indeed, he will be able to stay alive from Lyrics as well as Rafa. So that's all fine and dandy. But for me to finish things up, Nabi might not be able to do any form of damage aside from bringing Lyrics all the way down to a very low amount of HP because the Hylos would want to tank the entire laser beams from Nabi.
You see the situation, right? Both of the teams not having enough firepower yet to be able to take at least one of the tanky members from either squad. So they're heavily going to be prioritizing more on the objectives, and that's exactly what Saudi Arabia is going to be doing here because they will be able to take the first turtle of this game. And as I was saying a while ago, it takes 3 just to be able to give pressure towards Lunar, not kill, just pressure. So Saudi Arabia, knowing this, they will transition into the purple buff objective, and that's going to be the first clash of this game.
I don't think that Cambodia will be able to hold them out at all as Saudi Arabia came in and got what they wanted, which is the purple buff, and that is going to be credited over to the side of Rafa. While Tegami playing as the Suyo didn't get much of an EXP from that, so at least for now, they're both at level 5. It is still salvageable at this point in time. Cambodia, I'm mostly just looking out in the early stages of the game. How much damage do they realistically have? Considering the fact that Tegami is actually a very painful hero in the early stages. But ladies and gentlemen, the very first technical pause that we are going to be seeing for today. Now, for those people that have just came in, welcome to the Asian Esports Game 2024. This is match number 4 out of 5 matches that will be casted. You're gotta have to catch on.
All I'm before the start of the first turtle fight or the second turtle fight already is that Rafa can't die in these first 6 minutes. Because if she does, then that means it's going to be a little trouble. And considering that we are already in, and then there hasn't really been a lot of activity in the map so far, favors Saudi Arabia because they get prolong the team fight even longer. So I feel like Cambodia is going to have to force something here so that the scaling would go their way. And I feel like that's exactly what they're going to do.
At this point in time, we're just going to be looking at a 4-minute turtle. Well, Saudi Arabia, they have gotten themselves quite a bit of priority, but there we go. The Glorious Pathway is just going to be drawing a line to Nabi, while Rafa was hoping they will be able to go all the way to the back lines, but unfortunately, Dominators, the stun coming from the side of Nabi just ensures that he will be able to be safe and sound, and even getting the kill down onto Pink. So now Cambodia can very blatantly walk into the face while the flicker implosion coming from UAE came right in, landed onto Livin as well as Rafa. So now we've got the Purified that has been popped from the side of Livin. They're trying to go for a comeback. They're trying to fight back again. Nabi flickers right into the brushes and hoping they will be able to come back. But Lunar as well as Nabi trades against one another.
Oh, wow.
And Tegami saves Moshi right by the hair, while Yui came back to life, joined in with the Zaman Force, goes in with the Synchro Fission, deals a significant amount of damage over the Pink, and oh, the Chrono Dash for the Synchro Fission finishes it off once again on the Pink. That is a cycle of death coming in from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it felt like for the entire 1 minute and 30 seconds of that team fight, everybody has at least experienced death. Except for Tegami, except for Moshi. So I felt like Cambodia has had a really good run in that first few minutes, and Saudi Arabia was able to take that turtle because even though there was a certain amount of implosion that was landed by UEE towards Rafa and Livin used her purify to be able to get away. But meanwhile, Rafa was just had enough of airtime for her to be able to get out of that, and then came a series of bloodshed for both of these teams as Cambodia was able to get more of that. But here comes the fight once more.
Immediately, it does seem like we do have the crossbow of tank just going to be popped coming in from Lunar. He's going to be safe and sound, while Moshi hopes that he will be able to get away. He still continues on. Moshi's almost stayed alive. UEE, I could say the same as well, as he survives with just a sliver of health, while Rafa made her way to the middle lane, takes down the middle lane tier 1 turret.
Again, we've seen the same strategy from Saudi Arabia in the first game, right? Where Saudi Arabia's idea is that they're going to have to fight with a 4-man or 4-woman push. And then Rafa's just going to go ahead, roam around the map, try to find a really good angle where they could penetrate through the defenses and go back to the turtle. And I feel like that's what they're going for now, with another turret taken down, but Pink and Lyrics being left behind here.
Saudi looking for more. Cambodia flickers forward. Moshi lands the AOG around the living right within of the Zaman force. Cambodia pushes the rest of Saudi Arabia away. They did manage to pick up a single kill, and that's more than enough because Cambodia can just threaten onto the purple buff and steal it away from Saudi Arabia. But that's not gonna be the end. 3-man implosion knocks up. Cambodia comes in, takes 2 kill, or rather takes only 1 kill onto Lyrics at the cost of UEE's life.
I felt like that would have been even better when the follow-up came in immediately. Saudi Arabia got lucky in that time because it was only Lyrics that got caught in the crossfire. If Cambodia was, even a second alert, or a second more alert, I felt like it would have gotten south completely for Saudi Arabia. But unfortunately for them, it was only Lyrics that was taken back then, and it was also UEE that was killed in that clash for Cambodia. So at this point in time, Cambodia is still leading by 2,000 in terms of gold lead, but Saudi Arabia has been doing a really good job in trying to prolong this fight, courtesy of Rafa doing work in different parts of the map. Just look at this, right? It's always going to be 4 members from Saudi Arabia grouped up together, and Rafa doing work on the other sides of the map. And I feel like Cambodia is starting to catch up to it.
Little bit by a little bit. Rafa is just being an absolute menace, going to take down every single one of these. Oh, almost gotten away. The Grand Theft turret went out well for Saudi Arabia at the cost of his own life, but Mochi re-engages when it comes down to the AOG. Tegami goes for the flicker, wants to end up a kill on the living, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. Never mind! Whee! Amazing implosion once again. Pulls down on the Pink, forced the Purify from the side of Livin. Cambodia reclaims the middle lane tier 2, and Saudi Arabia, once again, they gotta have to play from behind.
That has been the story of this game, right? You can't let Rafa die in this first 10 minutes because she's going to be the one that needs to carry the early game potential coming in from Saudi Arabia. But if Rafa goes down, then that means Cambodia has access to all of the other members because there's no longer going to be a distraction for Cambodia in terms of them proving a team fight with Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia, whenever they go for these team fights, they are only with 4 members. Rafa has always been roaming around the map. She is the reason why they have those 4 turrets taken down. But Cambodia has done a tremendous job in capitalizing in the fact that Rafa was already out of the picture, so they were forcing these team fights against Saudi Arabia, and they caught Lunar, they caught Pink, and sometimes they would also catch Livin. That was the best case scenario. So props to UEE for just finding the best targets possible with those implosions and forcing the Purify out of Livin for him to be, or for her to be a little bit more, doubtful on what her next moves are going to be like.
And now with the Lord that will be marching in from the middle lane, we still have a couple of Holy Defense that's available for the side of Saudi Arabia. Holy Defense popped in the middle and at the bottom with the Glorious Pathway popped from the side of Lyrics, just so that they will be able to slow down any form of push from the side of Cambodia. just to ensure that they will be safe and sound. UEE hoping to catch on to Rafa, but didn't manage to.
Yeah, 11 minutes have already been passing by in this specific game. Still a holy defense available on the top lane inhibitor for Saudi Arabia, but Cambodia, they were probably looking forward to at least burning down one of those inhibitors down, but that wasn't the case. So it was a good defense coming in from Saudi Arabia. 11 minutes in, you start to see a little bit more damage coming in from both Lunar and Livin. So at some point in time, Cambodia is gonna have to be a little bit more weary in what their next move is gonna be like, because again, you do have UEE and Moshi to unleash that implosion AOG combo, but the situation for Saudi Arabia is they are going to be more than willing to go for these team fights, considering that they have enough damage with Sicilian and the 1-1 already, who is currently at 3-1-0. So just really be careful here if you're Cambodia.
So now Cambodia, they have decided to play things a little bit slowly, as you can see. They're just making sure that they will be able to work their way over to the Lord, because at this point in time, they can't afford to lose anyone, as the Lord will only be popping by in about 30 seconds time. In Cambodia, it does seem like they're trying to go for a kill, and Yui himself wants to go for something as well. So close! Cambodia, they're gonna be fine.
That was dangerous, man. I was about to say, what was she doing there? I didn't know, because there wasn't enough teammates for her to initiate that sort of team fight. And I feel like as we speak, there's already the glowing one, the Clock of Destiny, being built up by the Sicilian. It's just 2 items in 13 minutes of gameplay, so she's trying to farm things a little bit slower than usual. Knowing this, Cambodia is wanting to go for the Lord, and they will be able to take it. No casualties whatsoever, unless it happens now.
Yeah, this is going to be a simple Lord take from the side of Cambodia, and all they really gotta have to do at this point in time is just hold the fort down, wait for the Lord to eventually come in, and bing bada boom, the Lord ends the game. But this is 13 minutes game, and I would very want to believe that Saudi Arabia should have enough firepower to kind of take down the Lord just that easily. So Cambodia might have to take a little bit more time before they can end the game.
Yeah, that's going to be the case here. And UEE also has that Flicker Implosion combo together with the Revitalize coming in from the Gata Tacha. How and will they be able to defend?
Perhaps just a little while longer before we'll be able to see something amazing from Cambodia, as now the Lord is still slowly marching in. Saudi Arabia dealing with this Lord slowly but surely as the middle lane creep slowly marches on down. The Glorious Pathway is popped, and the AOG lands on the Livin. He haven't used the Purify just yet, but we do have the Zaman Force from the side of you, and it's just going to be doing a tremendous amount of damage. And at this point in time, Saudi Arabia, they are left with 4 members. They're still going to be alive, though. Cambodia lost UEE, while the Lord, or rather, while the creeps marches down. Middle lane, Cambodia, they manages to find themselves an absolute winner as of this game. Ladies and gentlemen, Cambodia moves on to the lower bracket semi-finals.
What an incredible performance coming in from Cambodia. They knew their timings.